All right, hello everyone. We are back
Ow, ow.
with episode 2.
H's got my Joe.
I'm Joe and I am here with H.
Sup, players?
And we got the first episode out of the way. All those jitters are out. Episode's kind of short. Hopefully, going forward, it'll be better.
It will be. If not, give your opinion to yourself.
All right, so with that out of the way, we are the podcast where true crime gets stirred, not sugar-coated. So today's case is one that has haunted Texas for more than 3 decades. It's heartbreaking, frustrating, and incredibly complex. It's a case that devastated families, shook an entire city, and left investigators. It's also almost midnight, so bear with us. Searching for answers for years. Before we begin, I do want to give a quick disclaimer. This episode does discuss the murders of 4 teenage girls. We'll also be talking about violence, sexual assault, arson, and the emotional impact these crimes had on the victims' families and the whole community of Austin, Texas.
There will be explicit words used.
Yes, that is
well. Sorry.
I'll be handling these topics respectfully, and I'll avoid unnecessary graphic details since it does include minors. So, listener discretion is advised. Our goal today isn't to sensationalize what happened, it's to remember the lives of 4 young girls, examine the investigation, separate confirmed facts from speculation, and discuss how advances in forensic science continue to shape the case today.
Let's just squirrel a moment and talk about the fact that we got the cutest little freaking microphones ever. And we literally played with them for like an hour. Like doing the dumbest stuff, like singing songs, and
we had to test it out.
Yeah.
But they are cute. They've got like little clips. Like I'm pretty sure we're supposed to wear this on like our clothing, but something about holding the microphone just makes
it
us
feel like a rock star.
Yeah, it makes it feel like
professional.
Professional. Like
so just know
we got this.
We're investing in
you. But yes, I do plan on getting like the whole mic stand thing going on if we have more people to support us. So please get the word out, share it.
Share and love.
Tell your mama, your papas,
your daddy, and your greasy granny.
Tell everybody. All right. So let's travel back to Austin, Texas. It's Friday night, December 6th, 1991. Christmas is only a few weeks away, so we've got the holiday lights everywhere in the neighborhoods. Stores are packed with shoppers buying gifts, or in our case, probably about 30 birthday presents, because we have 1,000,001 birthdays in December.
Absolute madness.
And then, of course,
it's still 90 to 98 degrees outside.
Yep.
Tejas, woo-woo.
So the city of Austin during this time was growing rapidly, but it still had that sense of close-knit community. It's a city known for live music, the University of Texas. No hate to the actual university. I just am about to be a Texas Tech graduate, so
Raider.
We don't like the horns.
Guns up.
Anyways, the University of Texas and neighborhoods where people recognize familiar faces. So for most people, that Friday night felt completely ordinary. No one knew that before midnight, one horrific crime would forever become part of Texas history. So on the north side of Austin sat a small frozen yogurt shop called I Can't Believe It's Yogurt. Did you ever eat there? Or did you ever have it? I was not born yet.
Okay, that's rude. But, no, the only yogurt place I ever went to was, what was it? TCBY. Do you remember that place?
I do, but I never had it. I always had
totally,
3 spoons.
Chomp down on that so I wouldn't feel guilty. I was like, bro, I can eat all I wanted this because it's yogurt. It's not ice cream. It's Healthy.
Wait, is that like, what does it stand for? You know, TCBY? Is that like supposed to be a...
It was an acronym, but in my old age, and my sometimes I can't remember. Something
Okay.
about yogurt. Here, I'm gonna look it up in the little brain box of
Okay.
my cell phones.
Okay.
Carry on while I do so.
Yes. Anyways, it was located in the Arbor Oaks Shopping Center. It was a popular neighborhood spot where families stopped after dinner, students met friends, and local teenagers often worked their first jobs. It seemed like one of the safest places imaginable.
Oh, wait, sorry.
What?
TCBY stood for the country's best yogurt.
Oh, okay. For some
sure.
reason, I thought it was going to be like, they can't believe it's yogurt or something. Like it was supposed to take a spin off of this one, but, whatever.
No, youngin', that's not what it stood for.
Anyways, on that December evening, 4 young girls were working or visiting the shop as closing time approached. They were laughing, talking about school, making plans for the holidays, and thinking about the weekend ahead. None of them could have imagined they were living the final hours of their lives. Later that night, firefighters were dispatched after reports of a fire inside the yogurt shop were made. At first, it appeared to be a routine commercial fire, but once firefighters forced their way inside, they discovered something far worse. The building had been intentionally set on fire, and hidden in the back of the shop were the bodies of the 4 teenage girls.
Ugh, horrible.
The city of Austin would never be the same. Of course, news spread like wildfire. Parents hugged their children tighter, businesses locked their doors earlier, and investigators faced one of the largest homicide investigations in Texas history. Over the next several decades, detectives would collect thousands of pieces of evidence, interview hundreds of witnesses, arrest suspects, obtain confessions that would later be challenged, overturn convictions, and continue searching for answers through advances in DNA technology.
Let's just think real quick, shall we? Like, what causes one person to wake up one random day and be like, I think today I'm going to go to the local yogurt shop and kill 4 girls and then set the building on fire? Like, what in the actual fuck is wrong with people?
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I was thinking, too, whenever I was researching this, because, like...
They're truly fucked off in
like,
a fucked way.
First of all, it's 4 teenagers. So, like...
They're babies.
What are you doing? Like, they're not even...
Stupid.
Living yet. They're... Like, the youngest one was 13.
Literally pisses me off.
Which we're going to get into all the victims.
Give me some deets. Give me some deets.
So, even today, this case continues to raise difficult questions like who was truly responsible.
For the murder?
Why did it happen? And after more than 30 years, can justice ever truly be complete? Before we dive into the investigation, it's important that we first get to know the 4 young girls whose lives were taken that night, because the story isn't just about an unsolved mystery. It's about Amy Ayers, Sarah Harbison, Jennifer Harbison, and Eliza Thomas.
Wait, this is still unsolved?
No.
Oh.
We'll get to that, because it was actually just solved last year, but it's kind of bittersweet, and you'll see why. Anyways, so let's meet the victims, because before we talk about the crime itself, I want to take a moment to remember the 4 young girls whose lives were taken that night. Because true crime can sometimes focus so much on the investigation, the killer, that we sometimes forget that these are real people at the center of these stories. Children with families, friends, dreams, and futures that can never get the chance to unfold. So first we have Amy Ayers. She was a 13-year-old. She was bright, energetic, and full of life. Amy loved spending time with her friends and enjoyed many of the same things most middle school students. Middle school. Can we just throw that out?
She was a fucking baby.
Yeah, middle school.
Horrible.
So she enjoyed music, school activities, and looking forward to the holidays. Those who knew Amy described her as kind and fun to be around. She had a warm personality that made people feel comfortable around her. And she had so much life ahead of her. She was 13. At 13, I was not really doing anything, but not about to get murdered, that's for sure.
No.
I was in the comfort of my own home, going to school, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
I don't remember that far back. So.
Okay, and so next we have Sarah Harbison. So Sarah was 15 and worked part-time at I Can't Believe It's Yogurt. She was responsible, dependable, and mature beyond her years. Friends and family remembered her as someone who genuinely cared about others. Like many teenagers, Sarah balanced school with work, learning responsibility while spending money. On the evening of December 6th, she was just simply finishing another shift before heading home. Next, we have Jennifer Harbison, which was Sarah's 17-year-old sister. Jennifer wasn't scheduled to work that evening. She had stopped by the yogurt shop to give Sarah a ride home after closing. Family was important to Jennifer, and picking up her younger sister was just another ordinary act of kindness, so nothing different. Instead, she became one of the victims of a crime that shocked the nation.
So they lost 2 kids.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ugh.
And apparently they were like this. So, real close.
Babies.
Yeah. And then the last one is Eliza Thomas. Eliza Thomas was 17 years old, and she also worked at the yogurt shop. Friends described Eliza as intelligent, caring, and hardworking. She had a bright future ahead of her and was looking forward to everything life had to offer her after high school. Like Sarah, she had gone to work expecting nothing more than a typical Friday night. None of the girls knew their evening would end in tragedy. Remembering their lives, it's easy to remember this case because of its mystery, the headlines, the arrests, the overturned convictions, the DNA evidence. But those things should never overshadow the people at the heart of the story, which is Amy, Sarah, Jennifer, and Eliza. They were daughters, sisters, friends, students, co-workers, and young women with dreams of the future. Their families have spent more than 3 decades living with unimaginable loss while continuing to hope for complete justice. As we continue through this episode, I encourage you to keep their names at the center of the story, because this isn't just a mystery to solve. It's 4 lives that deserve to be remembered.
Absolutely. So hard to grasp.
Mm-hmm. And then, like, another thing that I think this kind of hit home for me, because one, I mean, obviously it's in Texas. This town is about an hour and a half away from me. It's sisters that died, and it happened on my own sister's birthday. Of course, she wasn't born, because I wasn't even born. But I was like, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't. I just couldn't imagine. There's no way.
Yeah, and as a parent, like
losing one's got to suck, but 2.
Yeah, and like we just watched a true crime. Yes, we watch true crime. We read true crime. We listen to true crime. We have a true crime podcast. Are we obsessed? Abso-freaking-lately. But anyways, we just finished watching a documentary on Netflix.
Hulu.
Oh.
It's Hulu.
Oh shit! Sorry, Hulu.
Wait, which one are you talking about? The one we just.
One we just.
That was Hulu.
Oh
yeah.
Shit! Sorry, Hulu. Anywho, but it's like you are never prepared as a parent for your child to die sooner than you. But somehow, like, children are prepared for their parents to pass in a way. Are you prepared? No.
Absolutely not.
No.
I don't even want to think about it.
No. No, but like, you know.
Yeah.
You don't know, but you know.
Yeah.
But then, like, as far as a parent, you never fathom that.
Because you shouldn't have to.
Because you think about them growing older and having their own families. I'm just like, my heart really goes out to them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we're going to go back. It's Friday, December 6th, 1991. Again, for most people in Austin, it was the beginning of another weekend. Christmas shopping, restaurants were busy, and families were settling in for the evening. And I Can't Believe It's Yogurt, the employees were preparing to close for the night. So the shop was scheduled to close around 11 p.m. So inside the shop were Sarah and Eliza, and then of course Jennifer, who had come to pick up her younger sister, and then Amy, who was just visiting her friends. So typical Friday. What should have been a routine closing shift quickly turned into one of the worst crimes in Texas history. As closing time approached, investigators believe one or more individuals entered the yogurt shop. So just keep that in mind, because this is a whirlwind, I'm telling you. Exactly how many offenders were involved remains one of the biggest unanswered questions in the case. So yes, it's solved, but is it 100% solved? Is the question as of late 2025. Investigators.
Wow, so recent.
Yes, yeah. Because as that documentary was airing on HBO Max, they were just doing the 30-year anniversary, and then boom, DNA said, "Here you go." Because it advances. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so the investigators believed that the girls were forced to remain inside the store after closing. Evidence showed that money was taken from the cash registers, leading detectives to initially believe robbery was one motive. However, the brutality of the crime suggested that there was far more to the attack than left alone. So I don't want to go too deep into detail. So if you don't want to listen, just fast forward 30 seconds, because I'm going to talk about how the girls were found, which I really don't want to touch too much on because they are minors, or they were minors. So they were found bound, sexually assaulted, and shot in the head execution style.
All 4 of them?
Yes. And for some reason, Amy Ayers, the youngest, was completely separate from the other 3. So we don't know.
Her body was separate?
Yeah, so we don't know if she was got to first, if he saved her, or they saved her for last, or what. But I just thought that was kind of an interesting detail, especially since she was the youngest. So I don't know. Anyways, that's all I'm going to touch on that, because I know children or minors, they can be real sensitive. So I don't want to go too into detail about that, but yeah.
No, that's fine.
So the girls, again, were restrained and assaulted during the ordeal. Out of respect for the victims, like I said, we're not going to discuss too graphic details, but they endured some unimaginable violence. After the attacks, the perpetrators attempted to destroy the evidence, so the fire. So investigators determined that the fire inside the yogurt shop was intentionally set. Shortly after midnight, people nearby noticed smoke coming from the business, and emergency crews were dispatched.
Okay.
Firefighters arrived expecting to battle what appeared to be a commercial structure fire. As they worked to extinguish the flames, they made a devastating discovery. In the back area of the yogurt shop is where they found all 4 girls. The fire had damaged much of the scene, making the investigation far more difficult. Heat, smoke, and water all affected potential evidence, yet investigators immediately recognized that this was no accident. Right. So quickly it becomes a homicide investigation. The Austin Police Department secured the scene, and detectives began what would become one of the largest criminal investigations in the city's history. News spread rapidly, parents spoke to horrifying headlines, and businesses across Austin started increasing security procedures. Many people who have never locked their doors suddenly began doing so. So it's one of those, that never happens here until it does.
Situation.
Yeah. So of course,
just thinking
yeah.
How do you wake up the next day and send your babies to school?
Exactly. Yeah. And if you have teenagers, they're not going to work. I'm taking them to school. I'm bringing them home from school. I'm watching them until they go to bed.
Who needs work?
Friends,
I gotta watch my kids.
Yeah, friends, you're not going to see friends. You're gonna stay right here.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately they didn't have cell phones back then like we do now. But
Yeah.
in 1991,
Wait. What did?
I don't think the
Yeah.
first cell phone was till like the 2000s, right?
What? No, I had a cell phone before I graduated high school.
What year was that?
Rude. It was 98.
Well,
Yeah, I was like, so what happened in 96? Maybe? Surely. I'm gonna look this up.
Okay. So of course,
It
fear.
was a big car box one, remember?
What?
Girl, bye. Girl, bye.
There's the what is it? 16-year age difference between us.
I can't stand you sometimes.
Anyways, so fear spread across the city because no one knew who had committed the crime or whether they may strike again. So for investigators, the questions seemed endless, like how many suspects were involved.
1983.
Was the first cell phone?
Yep.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Was it that big, bulky one with the antenna?
That's exactly what I was just
Oh
talking
my
about.
God, yeah, because Drew Barrymore had that on screen.
I'm so done with you.
Okay.
Yes, I live with this all the time, guys. Seriously.
But yeah, she's the one that wanted to start this journey with me, so whose problem really is it?
Rude.
Anyway, so let's see. So as the sun rose over Austin on December 7th, the next day, detectives faced an overwhelming challenge. Of course, with it being a fire, evidence was destroyed because there's a fire and they used water and shit to put it out. So, and then apparently there were no clear eyewitnesses, and investigators had one enormous task ahead of them: figure out who was responsible for the murders of Amy, Sarah, Jennifer, and Eliza. So by the morning of December 7th, 1991, the Austin Police Department again found itself leading one of the most difficult homicide investigations. The fire had been extinguished, but it had also destroyed valuable evidence. Detectives now faced the enormous challenge of determining exactly what happened inside the yogurt shop and who was responsible. Crime scene investigators spent days processing every inch of the building. And side note, on the documentary, the Austin Police Department, when you first walk in, they have a model set up of the yogurt shop, exactly how it was, and the pictures and like little mini biographies of the girls, because they literally did not want to give up. Like, so every day they would walk in and they were just reminded of it, because and it's still there, even though it's solved now, but like they will not take it down. Like, you're not allowed to touch it or anything, and I just think that's
really cool.
Yeah.
Did you see like a picture of it?
The yogurt shop?
Like the thing is in the police department.
Yeah, it showed it.
You should put it on our page.
Oh yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll include. I think it's in that one I posted of the. It had like the 6 pictures. Oh well, that's the outside of the yogurt shop. Yeah, I'll have to find the. I'll find the one from the documentary and put it in there.
Yeah.
So, despite the extensive fire damage, investigators recovered shell casings, bullet fragments, fingerprints, fibers, biological evidence, and other items they hoped could eventually identify the killer or killers. The cash registers had been emptied, reinforcing the belief that robbery played some role in the crime, but detectives quickly realized this wasn't a typical robbery gone wrong. The violence used against the victims suggested something much more disturbing had taken place.
I'm thinking gang. Because of the style they were closed. They were killed.
That's actually the first time I've heard that. But you think outside of the box, though.
Yeah, because I remember when I was younger, no comment needed, that used to be a way for initiation. They remember I just started driving, so I was 16, so 1996. And they would tell you, like, if someone flashed their lights at you, don't pull over. Because it was part of initiating, like a gang initiation. You pull over and they would shoot you.
Oh.
There was also one where they would have like.
Well, I guess the execution style would make sense then.
Yep, the red and blue lights like the police car.
Uh-huh.
And that's how they would get women or girls to pull over, and they would attack them or they would kill them, and that was a gang initiation that was going on.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? It took you all back in a time warp. That's what made me think of that.
Yeah, that's actually.
They were killed.
That's actually a really good point. So as forensic teams worked inside the yogurt shop, detectives began interviewing anyone who might have seen anything that night. So employees from near businesses, customers, residents, people just driving through. Hundreds of interviews were conducted in the days and weeks that followed. Some witnesses reported seeing suspicious individuals near the yogurt shop before closing. Y'all, it's midnight, leave me alone. Others described unfamiliar vehicles in the parking lot. Investigators developed composite sketches based on witness descriptions and released them to the public, hoping that someone would recognize the individuals. So, of course, thousands of tips pour in.
Of course.
Every lead had to be investigated. Some appeared promising. Many led nowhere. As public concern grew, local and national media closely followed every development. Newspapers printed updates almost daily. Television stations covered the investigation extensively, and the case soon became one of the most widely known unsolved crimes in Texas at the time. The pressure on investigators was immense. 4 teenage girls had been murdered. The killer or killers were still unidentified, and the community wanted answers. Behind the scenes, detectives worked around the clock. Evidence was sent to crime laboratories. Fingerprints were compared against criminal databases. Ballistics experts examined the firearm evidence. Forensic scientists analyzed every biological sample that had survived the fire, but forensic technology in 1991 wasn't what it is today. Which I've seen that a lot lately. Like, they just caught the Golden State Killer a few years back.
Yeah.
Due to advanced DNA. Which I'll probably do an episode on him because, wow. DNA testing was still in its early ages. Many of the techniques investigators rely on today simply didn't exist yet. Evidence that might be incredibly valuable today couldn't always provide clear answers at the time. As months turned into years, frustration grew. Despite thousands of investigative hours, no arrests have been made. 0.
That's so sad.
Yep.
So I guess if you're going to do a crime like that, fire would kind of be your best option to get rid of evidence, because not only do you have the fire, you have the water that they would use to put out the fire that could destroy a lot of evidence. Ooh, they had a lot stacked against them.
Yes, they did. Especially in 1991. Like, I can imagine it still being hard, like, in 2026. But in 1991, I don't even want to know, because I'm pretty sure if they did have any type of DNA, it probably took weeks for anything to come back. Today, it's just like, you have it. Like that.
It's a snap of your fingers. Just snap your fingers and you'll have all the answers.
So families continued waiting. The community continued hoping. Then several years later, investigators believed they finally found the people responsible. But what would happen next becomes one of the most controversial chapters in this entire case. So, for years, the investigation seemed to be at a standstill. Despite thousands of leads, countless interviews, and extensive forensic testing, investigators still didn't have enough evidence to identify the people responsible for the murders. Then, in 1999, so this is 8 years after the crime, the case took a dramatic turn. Detectives focused their attention on 4 young men who had been teenagers at the time of the murders. Among them were Robert Springsteen and Michael Scott. No, not that Michael Scott. Don't worry. Both men were questioned extensively by investigators. After lengthy interrogations, I use interrogation lightly because, well, you'll see. Each gave statements that investigators interpreted as confessions to participating in the murders. Interpreted as confessions, aka coerced confessions.
Dadgummit.
For many people following the case, it appeared that the mystery had finally been solved. Austin residents who had waited nearly a decade believed justice was finally within reach, but almost immediately questions began to surface. Both Springsteen and Scott later argued that their confessions were false. Their attorneys claimed that the statements were the result of long, psychologically intense interrogations during which investigators revealed details about the crime and pressured the suspects into agreeing with those details. There's the coercion. Legal experts who later reviewed the interviews pointed to inconsistencies between the confessions and the physical evidence collected at the scene. So, like, when they were going through it, they were like, so they're saying that they confessed, but he's saying this, and that's not what's in the reports. So that's where it kind of linked up.
Why would you want to do that, though? I understand, like, you're tired and you want answers.
Exactly.
I'm sure the press was all over this.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But don't you really want to know who did it so
yeah,
they don't do it again?
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm not in their position, and I
don't
want to be, and I highly respect them.
Yeah.
But they have to deal with that shit all the time.
Like, I know it was exhausting. I know it was, but at the same time, like, don't put the wrong people in bars just so you can say, look what we did. We solved it. The biggest case in Austin history.
Yeah.
So, like I said, some details changed from one version of events to another. Other parts of the confessions conflicted with forensic evidence. These inconsistencies became a central issue in the courtroom. Even so, prosecutors believed they had enough evidence to move forward. In separate trials, Robert Springsteen and Michael Scott were convicted of capital murder. The convictions brought relief to many who had waited years for accountability.
Wait, how were they convicted when the information was false?
Exactly.
Were they saying, so they were able to use the confession? It wasn't thrown out?
Nope.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, go.
No, you're good. But that relief wouldn't last. As forensic science continued to evolve, attorneys requested additional DNA testing on evidence recovered from the crime scene. The results raised significant questions. DNA profiles recovered from key pieces of evidence did not match either Springsteen or Scott.
Because it wasn't them.
Exactly. Those findings became increasingly important as appeals worked their way through the courts. Eventually, courts ruled that parts of the confessions should not have been admitted at trial because of the constitutional issues surrounding the interrogations. See, if you would have just waited, ma'am.
I'm not a very patient person.
Without those statements, prosecutors faced a much weaker case. Both convictions were overturned. Charges against Springsteen and Scott were ultimately dismissed. That meant that legally, neither man was convicted of the murders. The case was once again unsolved.
How long were they in jail?
I think it was... I need to go back and look. I should have... It might be in here. We'll see.
Okay.
After believing justice had finally been served, they were forced to endure more uncertainty. Meanwhile, investigators returned to the evidence that had been preserved for decades. They hoped that advances in DNA technology, far beyond what existed in 1991, could finally provide the answers they had been searching for. And eventually, those scientific advances would lead investigators to a name they had never been able to identify before. But while the DNA evidence answered some questions, it also created new ones. So, for decades, investigators never stopped working this case. Even after the convictions of Robert Springsteen and Michael Scott were overturned, detectives continued to believe the answers were still hidden somewhere in the evidence collected back in 1991. Unlike witness memories, physical evidence doesn't forget. As DNA technology improved throughout the 2000s and 2010s, scientists were able to examine biological evidence with techniques that simply didn't exist when the murders occurred. Items that had once yielded little or no useful information were tested again using more sensitive methods. Every advancement offered investigators another opportunity to identify whoever had left DNA Wait, hold on. I think I have a typo. Inside the yogurt shop. Then came a major breakthrough. Before I do finish this, whoa, what happened to my scripts? Okay, there it is. So one of there was 4 total teenagers that were arrested, not just Robert Springsteen and Michael Scott.
Yeah.
There was a man, I need to look up his name. Hold on. But it's sad because...
Yeah, because it said there was 4 arrested.
Yeah.
And there's only 2 of them. Did nothing happen to the other 2?
Hang on, because I forgot to edit that in.
Hold up, wait a minute.
Okay, yeah. So it was Robert Springsteen, Michael Scott, Maurice Pierce, and Forrest Wellborn. So they were the ones arrested in late 1999. All of their charges were dropped. But what's sad is that Forrest Wellborn, he got... I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Basically, the intensity of everything, he ended up killing himself before they found out.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And, the daughter, recently got up on the stand, I think, 2 days ago. Because they offered them a $35 million loss settlement.
Yeah.
For the wrongful charges to be split between the 4 of them. And she's like, okay, but that money doesn't bring my dad back. So I'm like, yeah. And she's like, so, okay, so I have a few $1 million that doesn't...
How old was he?
Oh, they were teenagers. They were,
So...
Oh, you're talking about when he committed suicide?
Yeah.
How old is he? Hold on.
I love these mics.
I know, me too. Oh, he died in 1999, so he was probably in his late 20s or early mid-20s, because they were all arrested.
How old was he when he was arrested?
Hold on.
Stand on, we'll work on some
I knew I forgot to put something in here.
It's okay.
So he was 23 when he was officially arrested and charged in 1999. He was 15 years old in 1991. So, and then I think he died. Yeah, because when they were all officially arrested, they were all in their mid-20s. But they were teenagers when it happened.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then, Let's see. And then I believe in 2000 is when he killed himself. So not very
far.
Yeah.
So he was a young dad.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, life is hard and sucks as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Not taking anything away from the girls.
No.
But you're wrongfully accused.
And then
top of life itself.
Yeah.
I mean, that sucks, man.
And then, like, you don't even get to see the breakthrough, which it's a breakthrough, but like.
Okay, I want to know.
Okay. So, in 2025, investigators announced that advanced DNA testing had identified a previously unknown male DNA profile as belonging to a man named Robert Eugene Brashear. According to investigators, Brashear died in 1999 and had never been considered a suspect during the original investigation. The DNA identification marked one of the biggest developments in the case in more than 30 years. For the victims' families, it was the first significant piece of new evidence in decades. But the announcement also raised difficult questions.
Did it say how he died?
He killed himself in prison.
Oh.
Because he was already in prison for a previous rape and murder. That's why he was in prison. And they were able to connect that.
What a coward.
Mm-hmm. So, how was Brashear connected to the crime? Was he one of the attackers? Did he act alone? Or were others involved? At this point, investigators have not publicly answered all of those questions. Authorities have emphasized that the investigation remains active. Detectives continue reviewing evidence, following leads, and determining exactly what Brashear's role may have been. Because Brashear died years before his DNA was identified, he cannot be questioned or prosecuted, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So the reality has been incredibly frustrating for the victims' families, who have spent more than 3 decades waiting for complete answers. While the DNA evidence represents meaningful progress, it doesn't necessarily explain everything that happened inside the yogurt shop that night. Investigators that are still working to determine whether additional people were involved or whether any living individuals could still face criminal charges. So they still think that there's more than one person involved.
There has to have been.
Yeah.
The number of girls.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Especially they're like
because 4 girls and 1 person,
mm-hmm.
somebody would have gotten away.
That's what I'm saying. Especially if they were all like defending themselves for however long they would have had the opportunity, Yeah. But so this case also demonstrates how dramatically forensic science has evolved. Evidence that once seemed impossible to interpret can now provide investigators with valuable new leads decades later. It's a reminder that even the coldest cases can change when science advances. For the families of Amy, Sarah, Jennifer, and Eliza, the hope has always been the same. Not simply to identify someone connected to the crime, but to fully understand what happened that night and ensure everyone responsible is held accountable. More than 30 years have passed since 4 young girls walked into work and never came home. Their names are still remembered. Their families are still searching for answers, and the city of Austin has never forgotten what happened on December 6, 1991. As we close today's episode, let's take a moment to reflect on the lasting impact of this tragedy and the legacy these 4 young women left behind. So I just want to take a moment to step away from the evidence, the court proceedings, and the forensic science. At the heart of this story are 4 young girls whose lives were stolen far too soon. Amy Ayers, Sarah Harbison, Jennifer Harbison, and Eliza Thomas. More than 3 decades have passed since that cold December night in Austin. These girls, who should have grown into women with careers, families, and children of their own, remain forever remembered as teenagers. Their families have carried an unimaginable burden. Birthdays, graduations, weddings, the births of nieces, nephews, and grandchildren. Every milestone has served as another reminder of the moments these 4 young women never had the chance to experience. For the city of Austin, the yogurt shop murders changed everything. Parents became more cautious, businesses reevaluated employee safety, law enforcement agencies across Texas looked at how major crime scenes were processed and how evidence should be preserved for the future. This case also became one of the most well-known examples of why wrongful convictions and false confessions deserve careful scrutiny. It reminds us that solving a case is never enough if the wrong people are held responsible. Justice isn't simply about closing a file, it's about finding the truth. The investigation has also become a testament to the power of science. Evidence collected in 1991 continues to speak today because investigators preserved it. As DNA technology advances, new answers became possible, answers that detectives couldn't have imagined more than 30 years ago. Even now, investigators continue searching for the complete truth. The case remains active, and many questions still remain unanswered.
Well, they're still looking for.
Yes, they are still currently looking for those other people.
Great.
Mm-hmm. Will every person responsible ever be identified? Will the victims' families ever receive the complete answers they've waited decades to hear? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. Amy, Sarah, Jennifer, and Eliza will never be forgotten. Their names continue to inspire investigators, journalists, advocates, and everyday people to seek justice, even when justice takes decades. So,
wow.
Yep.
That was a lot. I didn't know all the ins and outs.
Yeah, and I still feel like I didn't fit everything in, but yeah. So, as always, thank you for joining us for another episode of H's Cup of Joe. If today's episode moved you, taught you something new, or encouraged you to learn more about this case, I'd truly appreciate it if you would follow the podcast, leave a rating or review, and share the episode with someone who enjoys respectful, victim-focused true crime. You can also follow H's Cup of Joe on social media for episode updates, behind-the-scenes content, and previews of upcoming cases. Remember, every victim has a story, every family deserves answers, and every case deserves to be remembered with compassion and respect.
Yeah, and if you know any information about these murders, you can always call the Austin PD, and their number is 512-974-5000. Any information would be helpful. I know that these families would like to have some closure, to just help them heal in this whole process. Exactly.
Good for you. I should have included that, but that's why you're with me, right?
Clock it!
Clock it! Anyways, so I'm Joe.
I'm H.
And this has been H's Cup of Joe, where true crime gets stirred, not sugar-coated.